Great start. What up, you weirdos? Dave here, and I like knives. Today we have the Cricket, screw you, that says Cricket, M-16. This has broken record at this point, 8 CR13 MOV steel with stainless steel frame. We have a blade of, there we go. We have a blade of 3 inches, a handle of 4, a width of 1, and a other width of 0.3. This is 2.5 ounces. This is very, very small and very, very light. This is an interesting one for me, because if you Google EDC folding knife, which I do more than I would like to admit, because I like knives, and I'm Dave. If you do that, you will find many lists. Blade Review, everydaycarry.com. You will find many, many websites giving many, many lists that put this as one of the greats of budget EDC knives. And I don't really hold to that. I don't understand why this is so highly regarded. It's a good knife. I like it. I'm glad that I have it. But really, this is okay. This has a good clip. It could be better. We've got two position. Tip down only, left or right. I would prefer that to be switched. I would prefer it to be tip up. There are thousands of variations on this, so it's actually interesting going to Cricket's website and just looking at all the varieties that this thing comes in. I would prefer that this be one of the many varieties that have tip up, but whatever. So it's good, but it could be better, because the fact that it's tipped down means that this thumb stud rubs against it, and I have trouble getting my pocket past this point. Solid fit and finish. This, I hate having thumb studs on flipper knives. This is manual, so whatever. But this does the great thing of having the thumb stud being exactly as far as it needs to be. I remember in my shuffle review, I said that the blade would be better if the thumb stud were further back, because the thumb stud was like way up here, and there was nothing on the handle that would have kept them from just pushing it closer to the handle. This is right up against the handle going around that curve. I like seeing that. It's a little design thing that I appreciate. And also, this isn't a real thumb stud. It is a blade lock. So you have that weird little Batman ear right there, and that's to catch the thumb stud to lock the blade in place. I like that. I have here listed terrible frame lock because of the tiny handle. That is a wound I received recently. Big red line there that bled for 3 days. Because this handle is so small. I don't know if I have big hands or medium hands. We'll measure them right now. We'll measure across at the palm. I have 3.5 inch hands. I don't know how big that is. But it's too big for this knife. Because the handle is so small, your fingers have nowhere to go when you're closing this. So it is absolutely not uncommon for me to close like this and then like try to do that. And several times I haven't had the wherewithal, because I'm kind of dumb, to move my pinky out of the way. So right there, I'm scared to do it because I know I'm going to do it. And just slice the tip off my pinky. I love that this is so light and so small. This is so light, but because, it's skeletonized, I appreciate that. But my goodness, can we not just get a little bit more to hang on to. If the pocket clip were down here, I would be able to rest my fingers on that while closing it. But no. So because this is so small, I hate this frame lock. They put a little bit of jimping in there, but that doesn't matter. The handle and the lock are completely flush. So there's no help in finding it, if that makes sense. On my most favoritist EDC knife, the Amplitude, look at that. The lock, easy to find, juts way out. You don't even have to think about it. And the blades are the same size, so why can't we just get a little bit more on this handle so that it's not a danger to the user? Whatevs. This is, mine is a spear point design, which makes it great for stabbing into stuff. Though there, as I said earlier, 1,000 variations, Tonto, other variations. I'm good at listing things. So, I mean, it's a good knife. I like that I have it. But it's just so small. And they're just a few... They do a few things that I love. Like the having the thumb stud in a reasonable place, serving a reasonable purpose. I like that. That shouldn't be too much to ask. But between the pocket clip and just the small not having anything to hold on to down here, that hurts, both physically and emotionally, because I just want simple things. Oh, and also, I'd like a little bit more in the pommel down here, because that blade's right there, and I'm catching my finger on it right there, which means that because I carry knives in my back pocket with my washcloth, that can catch sometimes. So when I pull out my washcloth, I end up whipping the blade out. That's annoying. I do like that this is a lot of fun to play with. It would be more fun to play with if it were a little bit safer to do that. But as a manual flipper, this is very smooth. So this part of the knife, I'm generally okay with. This part right here, I'm great with. Down here and right there, not as much. So this is a weird example of a mixed bag for me. Cricket, CRKT, whatever, if you want to be pompous, list this particular model. I don't know that this is the model that I have. This is just the cheapest on their website, and I can't imagine that I paid too terribly much for it. List initially for $47, Amazon for $23, Blade HQ for $29, Knife Center for $30. I got this from Cabela's for $25. But their varieties range from $47, the cheapest, to $200, which is a little bit bigger and an automatic knife. So that's cool. I would prefer, I don't have this, an M21 by Cricket, because it's basically the same thing, but with a 4-inch blade and a bigger handle in response to that. But that's $100. So I will probably never, ever see that. So in general, I give this a out of 5 stars. It's a good knife. If you have tiny little hands, absolutely pick it up. It'll probably serve you well. I have 3.5-inch hands. I don't know if that's big or small, but they're there, and they're too big for this. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please list them below. And other than that, have a great day.